Hello, and welcome back to the Outer World, where we continue with the battle on Gorgon. We are in the process of lifting the lockdown from synthesis and manufacturing plant. And this process requires us to first go into a couple of buildings, HIA, Human Inquiry and Auditing, if I'm not mistaken. And the second one will be the CHEM Lab.
Don't mess with the best.
First, we've been to the HIA in the previous episode, and we managed to send the signal to lift the lockdown from that place. Now it's time to get to the CHEM Lab. But before we do that, I would like to visit some other place first. Oh, that is not ideal. They have respawned around here.
Go.
Heard something. Crying, coming here, scared.
So if I'm not mistaken, there is only one guy left, right? And I can't even see him. Maybe we can let them leave to tell the tale, you know? Maybe not.
Quiet.
Right, where was I? We have visited the HIA. Quite a horrible place. But I have a feeling that the whole of Gorgon will be like that. Now I want to visit one spot that I have completely omitted in my previous sessions of wandering around. And when we visit this place, we will go down this road to the CHEM Lab, right over there.
Right. Let's dance. Attacking. Get it up! Get it up! I'll deal with them. I was just getting started.
Ouch. Yeah, it was very unfortunate that I missed the first shot. unfortunate and silly.
Those rocks look exactly like bones. What are the odds?
Yeah, those are bones, man.
I say it's a llama.
And I say you're wrong. I'm telling you, this isn't the rock. We need to turn back.
This is the spot. Now keep your eyes peeled. The dead drop is at the foot of the alpaca, he said. And this is the alpaca.
It's not.
Llama.
What was that?
It's a llama we're after, sir, not an alpaca. And this is neither.
Llama, alpaca, same thing.
No.
Llama.
They aren't the same at all, sir. Believe it or not.
Enough. We've got company. Out with it then. Who are you?
Are you the survivors from that crashed ship by the landing pad?
I'm the captain of that crashed vessel, to be perfectly accurate.
Why start now?
What was that, first mate?
Just talking to myself again, sir.
We're on the hunt for a package. It's supposed to be at the foot of this handsome-looking alpaca-shaped rock.
Llama?
Let me save you the trouble. I found your package.
I told you. Didn't I tell you? How many times did I tell you, Captain?
I believe I owe you an apology, first mate.
What?
It's true. I wouldn't know an alpaca from a raptidon, and as a captain, that's a mark against my good name. Can you ever forgive me?
Llama.
I don't know what to say.
I'll start. Thank you, stranger.
They all look very weird, and I'm worried for the second mate. Was that the name? A good captain knows when to admit they're wrong. Well done.
I suppose he's right. Maybe I was too quick to dismiss your leadership, sir.
First mate, let's say we put this awful business behind us with a round at the Sprat Shack. First one's on me.
Llama.
Here's my cut. I'd say you've earned it. And here's a little something extra for your time.
The pleasure was mine, first mate.
Be seeing you, and thanks again.
Llama.
I'm very concerned for the llama guy. Yeah, I did get a chrono-adaptive outfit, right? Chronofield aggregator. You'll be so fast that bystanders won't even notice that you were the one who shot first. Okay, I also saw that it has a handgun's time dilation drain, minus 25%. Like in this location, we have quite a number of primals, which is obviously not ideal, but there should be a way to sneak around. And I will try to use that. I completely missed the primal miasma. I'm like, oh, this guy's sleeping now. Well, he's not. CHEM Lab.
This facility is currently experiencing a heightened security event. Accessing this facility requires voice-modulated passphrase. Please speak the passphrase.
It's not the best choice.
We attest to the zest with our hand on our chest. Be impressed as our guest by what we've finessed. You are blessed to ingest what we thoroughly test. You've tried the best, now try the rest. Spacer's choice.
Passphrase accepted. Access granted. Welcome, Dr. Jasper
Again,
Lowe.
this music. Enrichment and what? Harvesting, Enrichment, and Molecularization Lab. And we already have Marauders here. And Automex.
How unfortunate. All this wanton death and destruction clashes with their well-appointed decor.
Okay, urgent notification. This urgent notification brought to you by the Space's Choice Automated Subversive Behavior Notification System. Please be informed that one or more of the following high priority conditions are likely to be active in your office or workplace: escaped primals, unlawful discussion of subversive cultural material, extended and unauthorized breaks. Please notify your supervisor immediately. If you are the designated supervisor of this workplace, this message constitutes your official notification. This is an automated response. Please do not respond directly to this message. Messages. Subject: corrective measures, forwarded to Low. Jasper, I've been taking your messages at my terminal like you asked. This one's from management though, please take a look at this. I could get in trouble for deleting it. From Goodfellow. Dr. Low, I speak for everyone at the OCI when I express my disappointment in your work ethic. The quality of compound X harvested and enriched at your laboratory falls well below Space's Choice standards. It is my professional opinion that the quality of one's work reflects the quality of one's spirit. Lazy workers deliver lazy work. Round up your researchers, fire 1 and 10. I expect you and your remaining researchers to deliver the next batch of chemicals to HIA under an accelerated timetable. These measures may seem punitive, even harsh. They are. I am instilling discipline in your team. One day I'd like to imagine you'll thank me. Respectfully, Lawrence Goodfellow. Work fortifies the spirit. Please respond. Jasper, I know you told me not to bother you when you are walking, but I'm running out of options. I understand you're busy, so I've boiled down my list of concerns into simple yes-no questions. Just respond with yes or no. Did you read Goodfellow's letter? Am I on the chopping block? Has security talked to you about some type of corporate spy in our ranks? Is there a spy? Did you know Padillas' heart gave out after a 72-hour shift? Are you attending the wake? I've got staff coming to the receptionist desk looking for answer. What am I supposed to tell them? It's not the best choice. It's the only choice we've got. Are you going to respond? Regarding, please respond. N. Just N? Yeah, I need to... Can I? No, no, wrong set of buttons. Wait a second. Did you read maybe no? Am I in the chopping block? No. Security talked no. Is there a spy? No. Did you know? No. Okay. To Tanaka, subject lost key. Chief, I found the key in a locker by the lavatories. The key belongs to Dr. Lowe. Please retrieve the key and return it to him. I do it myself, but Dr. Lowe can be pretty paranoid. If I show up at his door with the key in hand, he'll assume I stole it in order to fabricate a reason to check up on him. So, supposedly by the lavatories, there is a key to Lowe's office, right?
You people never seem to take the hint. Good luck.
Ah, more threats from the Aether. How pleasant. Must be our shadowy nemesis from the OCI.
Must be. But I cannot open this door. And I cannot loot all these bodies, right? It was so strange because, like, where does this voice coming from? Okay, so it feels like we're facing a choice that we're either going by the ground level or we're going on a slightly, we're taking a little bit of a higher road. Well, I'm certainly interested in this place and this place. Also, what the hell is that? Something underground. Okay, somewhere over there we should have an electric fling. What I will probably do, we will first visit this room slightly to the right of me. Main lab.
System alert.
Just that good.
Let's take him down!
Search complete.
Love a good brawl! Everyone all right?
Yeah, we're totally fine. Though this could have been done so much more better. But on the bright side, we have
It's all in the wrist.
several terminals over here. Okay, message archive. Well, messages. Can we please to Low? Dr. Low, I think I speak for all my colleagues in the laboratory when I say I'm worried about the OCI's treatment of our facilities. I can understand dismissing 10% of our staff as a punitive measure. I can understand cutting our deadlines in half in order to motivate us. But, and forgive me, Dr. Low, but I can't understand demanding that we send human inquiry our untested compounds. Many of these compounds aren't tested because we know they're failures. Increasing production means proportionally decreasing quality of enrichment, which means lower compatibility with human metabolism, which means higher rate and intensity of dangerous and potentially lethal side effects. Compound X is a highly complicated formula harvested from the waste of xenocytes. It's complicated because unlike over 50% of Space's Choice nutritional catalog, the compound was not designed for human consumption. If the good people at OCI understand the complexity of the compound we're dealing with, there is a chance they'll give us the time and resources we need. We just need to get them to understand. This is a problem of miscommunication, Jasper. Just let me go up there and give them a presentation. I'll use markers and everything. What do you think? Can we do this? From Low. Dr. Pahlavi. The OCI are comprised by a gaggle of carrion feeders. You go up there with your markers and your charts and your diagrams and they'll chew the flesh off your bones and then charge me for the meal. It is absolutely critical that I finish my research in peace and as soon as possible without interference from the OCI. So in answer to your question, no, we can't. Best. Personal files. Work fortifies the spirit. From Meadows. Today we received our updated timetable from management, courtesy of Mr. Goodfellow. 6-week deadlines are now 3-week deadlines. Some of my colleagues have been sacrificing sleep in order to meet these deadlines. Others have been medicating themselves with very small doses of enriched compound X in order to combat the fatigue. Work fortifies the spirit, so we will carry on. I count myself fortunate to have been spared in the decimation. My former colleagues have nowhere to go. Their departure corresponded with a few critical doses of enriched compound X disappearing from our storage. Correlation does not imply causation, so I will not imply theft. I am concerned that the side effects of compound X, even in its refined state, repeated use damages even in its refined state, repeated use damages the synaptic patterns of the brain. Paranoia, violence, psychosis, and intense anxiety will haunt a repeated user for the rest of their short lives. Our enrichment process does not combat the side effects of Compound X. We were close to a breakthrough, but the damage to our research terminals is irreversible. My hope is that human inquiry will see the effects of this compound in their own tests and report these tests to creative incubation. If incubation is as chilled by these results as I am, they may provide us with more time and more resources. Unplanned sabotage event. From Gautier. A moment of silence for my recent batch of enriched compound X. The elegant complexity of your molecular structure manifested in the hallucination of my own sleep-deprived mind. 30% lower rate of addiction, 75% compatible with human metabolism, and with a side effect coefficient of just 0.65, you were our most promising compound yet. Human inquiry would have been delighted to pour you into a syringe and stick you inside the test subject. You were destroyed in an unplanned sabotage event, which is to say that Mr. Mosley's fancy stables couldn't predict this would happen. You were almost perfect. Our lab will never see the likes of you again. Compound X is notoriously difficult to enrich. Its molecular structure is fussy. In small doses, the compound provides a massive boost to energy and productivity. The clever buggers at OCI do not seem to understand this principle and have asked us to increase our dosage with every batch. High dosage compound X is even harder to enrich, and the poorly enriched, poverty-stricken chemical has none of the protective layers that inhibit dangerous side effects. So what we have is a cocktail of very bad side effects chased down with one massive rush of euphoric energy. Pleasant, but incredibly dangerous. I can only hope HIA's reports agree with my assessment. Damage to data storage detected, memory malfunction detected, unable to retrieve data. Diagnostics could not complete. Nothing is found. Only one staff personal entry. To whom it may concern, this morning I and my colleagues gathered in the reception hall. Every 10th staff member at this laboratory was released from service. I am one of them. My indenturement contract to Space's Choice, which stipulates a lifetime of productive service as a researcher in the field of organic chemistry, has been terminated. I have served Space's choice for most of my life. Working at the Gorgon facility is the highlight of my career. If I leave Gorgon, I will have nowhere else to go. Because my contract guaranteed my work for the duration of my life, to end that contract is tantamount to ending my life. If you have the power to reconsider your decision, I ask you kindly to reconsider. I am willing to work without pay if necessary. This job is all I have. Please allow me to fortify my spirit by continuing to work. To Low. Subject, research notes. Dr. Low, I'm afraid I don't know where your research notes are. I searched materials processing and discreetly asked the receptionist, but nothing turned up. If I had to guess, you left them in the basement laboratory. I'd venture down there myself, but you know how I feel about primals. I apologize for the weakness of my constitution. Sir, if your research notes do turn up in the basement, may I ask you to think favorably on me when OCI asks you for a budget review? Word around the lab is that Goodfellow and the other leaders at the OCI want to make some deep cuts in our staff. If there is any truth to this rumor, I hope you'll remember that I've always supported your desire to find a better, safer version of AT. Adrenatine. Adrenatine. Sorry. Alright.
Roscoe, it's Georgie. If you're hearing this, you must still be holed up at the Sprat Shack. And you're not gonna like this one bit. I was trying to steal our recordings when things went crazy. I know. Like I said, sorry. And I'm gonna be in a heap of trouble if I don't get them, so if you want to save my bacon, you need to do it for me. I need the 3 interviews we did with Ambrose, this one here, plus another recording of my own. I left that last one with a guy who owed me a favor at the garbage processing office in the chemical waste ravine. I'll leave an automech near Stellar Freighting. It'll want all 5 recordings, plus a passphrase. Glacial Age. Oh, and don't listen to my log, all right? Just stay safe and keep your head down.
I need to read it once again. Was it this one? Yes. I am not following entirely what is happening over here. A woman named Georgie asked Roscoe to deliver the portable phonographs to her personal automac. Yes. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. So, you found an unexpected phonograph. And Georgie hid the phonograph in a locker, which I already retrieved. Yes, that, however, does not explain me what the hell is going on. Was Georgie a spy? Well, in any case, I did not like your questions. So... I'm gonna go over there. Not sure if there is anything on the ground level.
Dr. Lowe and his people didn't just work here. They lived here. This lab must have been their whole life.
You are probably right. I would assume then these are the lavatories.
How the devil do I use this thing? Is it what? Oh, the barrel's turning. All right. I feel like an absolute idiot barking into this horn. I shouldn't have let Lucien talk me into this. What use do I have with audible notes? Posterity my ass. Ah, great fucking law. What's it doing now? Jasper! Jasper, it's... How do I turn it off? It won't.
Just press the button.
The what?
Oh, for law's sake, the button, Ollie.
Accursed thing.
Was Jasper close to Olivia? Oh, no, it's not that. It's just a storage room. With some mag picks, sure grip, and I don't know what else. Anyone fancy woolly milk? So I do know about these caves, right? Okay, I do have a security pass for this thing. Because our original idea would have been to go all the way through the caves, go from the back door, and then override the authorization, right? Are you moving by any chance anywhere? Yes, you are. So you're not entirely broken. That's what I was trying to understand. And Mechanical Guardian Mark II is tough enough to withstand a stealth shot right in the weak spot. So that is... I can't call it ideal either. Material processing. Welcome Dunlop. Critical update. Dear Sir and Oh Madam, this is an automated message triggered by the Space's Choice Contingency Management Program. Please do not respond to this message. Congratulations. Contingency number 77-1, abundance of raw material, is now in effect. Due to a higher than projected volume of Compound X harvested in this laboratory, your production quotas have been raised by 200%. Please bear in mind that bi-weekly quota reviews are automatically generated and forwarded to Project Gorgon Administration and the Office of Creative Incubation. Any dereliction in production will be reflected in your review. Notes. Memory retrieval failed. Okay, open last entry. Uh, Attempt number 89. Exposed compound sample to N-ray concentrate for 30 seconds. Notes incomplete and damaged. Exposed compound to concentrate for 60 seconds. Sample failed. Exposed compound sample for attempt number 90. Woke up, fell asleep at table. Sample failed. Overexposure to lab atmosphere. Toxicity levels high. Disposed. Researchers addendum. Unplanned sabotage event destroyed any relevant research notes. Forced to rely on outdated notes. Expected time loss 6 to 16 months. Attempt to replicate research unsuccessful. Will try again after resting eyes for a minute. Now, my question is whether this area patrolled by the mechanical sentry contains anything useful or interesting. And I don't think so. Okay, there is a door. A door that will just take me closer to this place, but I don't think that is necessary. If we can just do something like this. So, by the looks of it, I should explain a lot of, I should expect a lot of primals, yes. But it also might seem that I can just walk past them.
You know, when we walked into the lab, I thought, what's the worst thing we could run into? And of course, the answer had to be primals.
Of course, Felix. So we have primals to the left, primals to the right. Practically primals everywhere. Let me consult with the map, where the hell am I? So yes, I need to go somehow straight, right? Okay, that seems to be working. Just, yeah, go in a very weird zigzag shaped trajectory and you should be totally fine. Except, yeah. Now you're in a room with mechanical sentries. Should have been expected, to be honest. Should have been expected. Okay, override authorization. Maybe it's just a little bit further up ahead. If I override authorization, does that mean that I don't need to be afraid for the bots?
Must be Doc Lowe's old office.
I somehow begin to doubt that. That is a bad positioning. I'm gonna go to security office first. Now, at least I saw the sights, right? Ah, of course there are mines as well. I mean, why wouldn't there be mines? That would be the more appropriate question, right? Okay, we at least have a direct access, like we don't need to go back to an elevator, we can just jump back down. Advanced defensive helmet. Gold. No, thank you. Tanaka's peacekeeper. Absolutely. What can you tell me about the peacekeeper? Powerful enough for a god, but made for a manager. This weapon increases the leadership skill of its wielder as well as the damage their companions deal. Alright, alright. Security office status. Alert. Security office status. Access restricted. All password protection has been disabled by order of Warren's Goodfellow. Privacy is a privilege and must be earned. Lift access restrictions. Operating a security terminal is a privilege restricted to Space Choice Site safety engineers. Any unauthorized personnel operating a security terminal will receive an immediate reprimand. How about I disable auto-mechanical hostility protocol? It is disabled. Auto-mechanical status, it is disabled. Okay. Messages. Sub 2 Low, please explain. Dr. Low, I'm going to have to take the researcher's side on this one. Your absence during an emergency is conspicuous. I don't want to report you because I don't want corporate auditors scheduling interviews with the entire staff while they're trying to meet deadline. The unplanned sabotage event already halted experimentation and development. We're trying to get our operations running again and we could use all the help we can get. I'm already down one staff member. Saint Germain's gone. You know why. You owe this team an explanation to any number of grievances. Your absence is the most urgent one, but I'll take an explanation as to why there are primals being held in the caverns near our waste disposal site. They're your primals, aren't they? From Low? Guardian, please explain. Mr. Tanaka, no, I can't explain the primals. Primals defy explanation. They are a miracle of evolutionary adaptation and a treasure trove of interesting genetic material. I am not going to explain my alleged absence either. This is because I am not absent at all. My presence is implicit in the work of my researchers. The researchers still employed in this department are skilled and more than capable of repairing any damage done by the alleged saboteur. Please don't bother me again with trivial problems. You are the security chief. Stick to securing things, including but not limited to the safety of the lab and my privacy. Warm regards and pleasant felicitations. To Low, resignation. Dr. Low, I've just finished filing my official report on the unplanned sabotage event. Unfortunately, filing a report on a sabotage event requires me to also include a list of captured, apprehended, and neutralized saboteurs. Company policy. No list me no list means I'm getting arrested for dereliction of duty and you are getting penalized for hiring me. Saboteurs is puro. I can't include Mr. Saint Germain's name and be done with it. As a last resort, I have been forced to include the names of all former employees whose contracts were recently terminated in the decimation. These researchers are no longer part of the Project Gorgon and will likely not survive without a job, so I may as well use their names to save our jobs. I filed my report last night and haven't been able to sleep since. This is to let you know that I will be filing for transfer at the end of the next cycle. The auto mechanicals should now... Yeah, I know this place is now open. Nice. How did I miss this part? Nice. That means that I can safely explore this place and take all these shunts with me. There is another exit, which I believe is the lower one. Where is it going from?
Especially after I've gone to so much effort to see Gorgon rest in peace. It's a good thing then that I finally figured out what you're after. I'll see you soon, little weasel.
Is it just me, or does it seem like our mysterious nemesis watches too many Aetherwave serials?
Bruh, I'm just concerned about where the voice comes from because I can't hear it properly and only the subtitles are, yeah, the only thing that somehow helps me.
Night falls on Gorgon. Though I suppose it's always dark here in the void. The lab is empty, and I am at last alone. I'm preoccupied with thoughts of the single-celled xenocytes that make their home here on this rock. These primordial creatures persist despite the hostility of their surroundings. No, they require adversity to thrive. Perhaps that's why our bodies react to theirs. There is a harmony in us. The law didn't craft...
Always a brilliant idea to use primals as test subjects. Nothing ever goes wrong.
The xenocytes do. We live. Against all odds, we live. But for how long?
Damn it, I interrupted part of the recording, which was
Alright,
not the idea. How many of you are here? I count at least 2. Because this is also the lab, right? Primal hide, some smokes, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I believe I missed the recording number 2, and I'm not sure if it is wise to expect it in this lab. Aqua Regia. Okay. Putrefaction by swinging action. Attacks with this weapon have a chance to inflict weakened, and not the funny type. Just below's research notes. Initial research into primal neurochemistry has proven fruitful. I've discovered a cardiac cell receptor for adrenaline analogous to human cell receptors in function, if not in physiology. It should be possible to develop a pharmaceutical drug that blocks the effect of the adrenaline hormone in primals, thus curtailing their paranoia, agitation, and violent irritability. Correction, it is possible, just unlikely given the way OCI has me under thumbscrews. Adrenatime is a dangerous drug. The danger can be mitigated by developing an adrenaline inhibitor. Take adrenatime, then take this theoretical drug to minimize its side effects. I barely have time, energy, or resources to develop a half-possible adrenatime, so this idea must remain a dream. Nonetheless, my notes follows. Hope springs eternal. Maybe I just need to explore in more detail the part where we found an automechanical. And before we proceed to this terminal, let me take a short break and I will be with you in a moment. And with that, we're going back. So, terminal of Jasper. We go first through the messages. Incoming messages from Ambrose. Subject: updated security practices, high priority. Pursuant to last week's incident, new security practices are now in effect. All lab personnel must tidy their workstations at the end of their shift. Close and lock all drawers, safes, closets, vents, and lab doors before leaving for the day. All visitors must be accompanied. Furthermore, any laboratory attack accompanying a guest who has not received certification in either self-defense or hand-to-hand combat must also be accompanied by a member of the security team. All confidential information must remain as such. Do not discuss the nature of your work outside or inside the lab except to warn peers of imminent danger, such as fire, chemical spill, or suspected corporate espionage. All laboratory techs are to isolate themselves until further notice. Any laboratory tech found fraternizing in groups of 2 or more, or found speaking with the same person more than once, will be remanded to Space's Choice Human Resources Re-education and Reallocation Department. Finally, unless you are actually physically sitting in an interview session pre-approved by me, do not speak to the journalists. From Ambrose, subject AT concerns. Jasper, I dug into the volunteer data Marion sent over. You were right. The current formulation is resulting in alarming outcomes even by SC standards. Priyanka and I performed a handful of autopsies on this week's deceased and made a few notable observations. In one case, that of a young man in his early 20s, we noted a degree of gray matter loss one would expect to see in a man of 70. His brain had also atrophied to a shocking extent, again as one might expect in a much older man. In another case, that of a woman in middle age, the subject was no longer able to achieve natural sleep. After 11 consecutive days of wakefulness, she was no longer able to distinguish her violent hallucinations from reality. Yet even as she spiraled, she demanded additional injections. I was sure our last week would reduce the incidence of violence among the volunteer population. We might attempt to further refine the compound through petitioning, though I'm doubtful that will be efficacious. Violence aside, I'm growing increasingly concerned by the habit-forming nature of the compound. What do you think? From Ambrose, subject monthly physicals. The materials we work with are dangerous and will result in permanent injury, disfigurement, or madness when handled for extended periods. Therefore, all laboratory personnel will now report to the project physician, Dr. Priyantia LeBlanc, for monthly physicals and psychiatric evaluations. I do this out of an abundance of caution. Schedule your first appointment immediately and notify me when you do. I have access to your medical records, so I will know when you shirk. Do not make me drag you to his office myself. Outgoing messages to Ambrose, subject AT concerns. What do you think? These days I try to think as little as possible. Thinking is a dreadful habit which leads to self-awareness, which leads to resignation. It's true that the current formulation is resulting in alarming outcomes, but not, I think, by SC standards. SC's standards are low. You report 11 consecutive days of wakefulness, and SC sees 11 consecutive days of productivity. You report an inability to distinguish violent hallucinations from reality. SC is going to try to push us to turn those hallucinations into phantom images of company logos. You say the compound is habit-forming, and SC is going to see an increase in demand for our never-ending supply of xenoside waste. To be serious, yes, the compound is absolutely habit-forming. Addiction correlates with dosage, and dosage size is inversely proportional to enrichment quality. Long as corporate asks us to keep our dosage minimal and controlled, there is a reasonable chance we can improve the enrichment process to filter out some of the dangerous side effects. That's going to take time, a lot more time than corporate realizes. Archived from Ambrose, subject employee termination, Herbert Saint-Germain. Effective immediately, Herbert is no longer an employee of Space's Choice PR&D division. PR&D? His body has been forwarded to the chemical waste dump for processing. Mr. Germain was a saboteur sent by a rival firm to disrupt our vital efforts. It's only thanks to the swift reporting of one of your esteemed colleagues that Mr. Germain was prevented from causing any significant damage to our facilities, intellectual property, or staff. I understand that Mr. Germain was popular around the Gorgon campus for his genial and helpful demeanor. That is because he was a spy. If you encounter any similarly friendly staff, alert a member of the security team immediately. We are shifting all of Mr. Saint Germain's remaining tasks to other laboratory technicians. Finally, anyone caught visiting his grave or discussing his departure will be remanded to Space's Choice Human Resource Re-education and Reallocation Department. Okay, PR&D, Pharmaceutical Research and Development. Okay. I believe these were all the messages, so let's go to admin functions and we will override the lockdown. And if we now check the status, it is now open.
Halcyon's got no shortage of creepy science labs, boss. But this place? There's something real twisted about this place.
I dare say it seems like the inmates were running the asylum here.
What does number 4 mean? You remember the guy who was running it, right?
This would break anyone who had anything even resembling a conscience.
I know it ain't saying much, being Spacer's Choice and all. But Doc Lowe and his team was their best and brightest. How could this happen?
Corporate bullshittery? Yeah, they will push, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, maybe they should have pushed back. Maybe they should have said no.
Minnie thinks her family has a bad name now. It's nothing compared to how it will be if she compounds on her mother's failures.
Let's get the journal before we jump to conclusions. I would like to try... Shush. I would like to try to locate her second journal somewhere around this place. So I want to check the garage with auto mechanicals once again. Um, maybe the lab, but I'm not sure. How did I not trigger that mine? Okay, there is a scrap mechanical active, but does not seem to be hostile.
Done and done.
They were not happy with me trying to unlock the stuff around, that's for sure. Maybe there is a recording somewhere on the ground level? Because we have recordings 1 and 3, right? I'm not mistaken. Web nodes 1 and 3. So where is number 2? They are also not particularly hidden, were they? I mean, this place is just so horribly overexposed that I would not be surprised if I missed one. I also begin to fear that the... What if number 2 is in the primal cave? I really don't want to go there for this, but I also feel like I might not have too much of a choice here. $4610, that's a lot of HP.
Knew it hit him.
Come on, turn to me, turn to me. You can do it. That grenade just like going there in slow-mo, that's entertaining, let's call it that way. You're the guy with a lot of health. You're the guy with not enough health. Okay. So somewhere below 4K is fine. You can clearly see how I try to simulate a bolt action rifle, right? That was incredibly smooth. I'm not even sure myself what the hell has happened there. I failed to spot how much damage I deal with this thing. I hope it's caught on the recording and I can check it later. Did anyone see a small recorder around here? Anyone? Don't make me go and check the map. I feel like you will make me go and check the map. Ah. I find it unpleasant. Because... So the place at the Jasper's lab is the location of number 3. I mean, logically, number 2 should be between these places, right? Okay, I will have another brief look at the security office. And while I'm doing that, I will try to locate, I will try to open the map. Yeah, let me... Gorgon. No, this place is not that big, so I should have probably noticed it, but I didn't. So, let's see. What am I looking at? Oh no, that's the wrong map. CHEM Lab. Here's research notes. Ambrose lab notes number 3. Huh? What? I've been there. Is this thing really so small I didn't notice it? Yep.
The effects of Compound X are inescapable. The refined excrement of the xenocyte life form. It's a fine powder, very fine. It finds its way into absolutely everything. Even in the water now, and the air. It settles like a veil over all of Gorgon. The laboratory techs get the worst of it. We all appreciated the boost to mood and productivity at first, but we're at each other's throats in an instant now. I've had to break up 2 fistfights this week alone. This aggression must be inherent to the formula, to Compound X. How do I stop
I'm
it?
looking forward to a breath of fresh air after the stench of this place.
So I did understand correctly that they took primal poop, right? Before we go outside, I'd like to wrap an episode. I think it was a nice one because we completed the CHEM Lab, and in the next episode we go to the S&M, and maybe we'll even wrap up the DLC. I don't know how much time that might take, but I feel like we're making a good progress for now, and I'd like to say thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoy my company and my gameplay. If that's the case, then please leave me a like and subscribe to the channel, or otherwise, let me know down in the comments what I can improve for you. I hope to see you next time. Have a nice day out there, and bye.